And let's bring in former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren, for more. Ambassador, thanks for coming on. Israel says that it has stopped attacks in Iran since Netanyahu spoke with President Trump. How much leverage does the U.S. have in maintaining this ceasefire?
Good to be with you, Dan. The United States has a lot of leverage. Well before the American became directly involved in the war with Iran, the president said, we control the skies over Iran, and he wasn't wrong. Israel is flying American-made planes. It's dropping American-made bombs and flying with American-made fuel. So all of those are levers on Israel's maneuverability. At some point, Israel may have to say to the president, listen, we have no choice. It's a matter of national security. And there have been cases in Israel's history where prime ministers have said that to American presidents. It's never easy and can also come at a cost. So we have to be very, very prudent in sort of electing that option. We have to proceed on the assumption that Iran, like Hezbollah, like Hamas, will always violate ceasefires. And the big question is, how is Israel to respond in a situation where the president clearly does not want Israel to violate a ceasefire?
That said, Israel sort of has Iran on the ropes right now. So do they have an actual interest in trying to achieve a ceasefire or a long-term peace deal?
Iran? No, Iran wants to go back to where it was before this war started. It wanted to go back before the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023, when Iran was in many ways, the dominant superpower in the Middle East. And it surrounded Israel with proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen, surrounding Israel with tens and tens of thousands of rockets. Israel, stage by stage, knocked out these proxies, then finally took on Iran itself. So Iran is really a shadow of what it was about 20 months ago. Iran wants to get back. And they declared victory in Tehran today, the regime. They said they're going to start rebuilding their nuclear facilities right away. And the big question is, will the United States allow Israel to preempt that effort to rebuild those facilities and bring Iran to the negotiating table in a way that Iran will not only not enrich uranium again, but Iran will stop being the world's greatest support of terror, both in the Middle East and beyond.
The president expressed a lot of frustration with Israel this morning. Do you think there's a line Netanyahu could cross that would lead the U.S. to say, we're not helping you anymore?
It's a delicate one. And again, as I said earlier, Israelis had to face that line in the past. Most famously, Golda Meir in the 1973 Yom Kippur War took on Henry Kissinger and President Nixon, who said, called on Israel to maintain a ceasefire. And Golda said, no, we haven't achieved our goals yet, which was getting the Egyptian army surrounded and getting the Egyptians to the negotiating table in a situation where Israel had a strong hand. Israel wants a strong hand again at this negotiating table. Everything hangs in the balance. If Iran is truly neutralized as this malign power, many things are possible in the Middle East. You can have peace between Israel and Lebanon, peace between Israel and Syria. You could have peace, certainly, with Gaza and rebuilding Gaza, releasing Israel's hostages, and of course, peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia. So you're talking about a very, very different Middle East, hangs in the balance. And if navigated successfully, President Trump will be the greatest peacemaker of the 21st century.
Do you think you can broker that peace without regime change in Iran? Will Israel go for that?
That is many questions that's being asked here and abroad repeatedly today. And it's they say the $64,000 question. The Iranian regime that came to power in 1979 is a jihadist group. It seeks to expand its rule across the Middle East and beyond to the entire world. It's a theocracy. It's not an ideology. And the question is whether that regime can change DNA and be something that it has been, and just be what President Obama would say, a responsible regional power. That remains to be seen. And you have to proceed on the assumption that this is in the DNA of this regime, to be jihadist, to be a terror-supporting regime, to seek to expand its influence across the Middle East and beyond. And you have to build guardrails. Those guardrails are ensuring that Iran cannot rebuild its nuclear facilities, that Iran's behavior is closely monitored, and that Iran is denied the ability to once again support terror and kill literally hundreds of thousands of people across the Middle East.
All right, former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren, we appreciate your time today, Ambassador. Thank you.